So Ascended Heroes, is it worth it? Are you really looking at this set and thinking, should I buy it? Should I try and keep it sealed? Should I try and do anything with it? And to be honest, it looks a phenomenal set. Now, we're going to kind of go over a few things with this. The Pokemon TCG obviously has ran out, shock. We did get the Pokemon Center ETB of it, and then we also got some booster bundles as well. Don't quite know why the booster bundles were added with this. I get the normal ETB, well, the Pokemon Center version, but we haven't had the original one as of yet. So that's just something. In terms of what we're seeing from pre-orders from Pokebeach, we obviously had that. The set will release on the January 30th. The regular ETB won't be released until February 20th. So this is going to be known as like a staggered set. Personally, there's probably been a few that have been like this. In terms of products, we obviously see that every now and then. But with the Ascended Heroes, it is going to be an interesting one because it's over 290 cards, over 30 trainer cards, 13 Mega Evolutions. We've got then 6 Terra Pokemon, 20 Pokemon EX, 33 illustrations, 40 ultra rare Mega Evolutions, as well as then Pokemon EX and also trainer cards, 7 Mega Attacks, which are going to be, I'm assuming, are down here. These, so basically we get these, we've had them in the Mega Dream set that we'll talk about. In Japanese, it is Japanese writing and then English here. Other way around, English and Japanese for the English side of stuff. So we're going to get them. We then get 22 special illustration rares, which we've got a few of them already announced. So this is always going to be interesting. The makeup from Ascended Heroes is going to be from Mega Dream EX, and I believe the 100 deck, starter deck that we see in Japanese. We'll kind of go through that and kind of see what is worth it. By the looks of it, like all special sets, individual booster packs and booster boxes will not be sold. You'll only be able to find the booster packs in the following products. So we're not going to have any booster boxes or anything like that. That makes more sense now the bundles are out. So this is predominantly going to be in ETBs. You'll find booster bundles, then you'll find all of these kind of like tech stickers. You might get a collection box at some point. Very much like think of 151ers. That seems to be the going rate for a lot of people. We will be getting the Zekrom in the pre-order in the ETB. This is, I believe, I want to say it's a normal card in Mega Dream EX, but we'll get onto that anyway. And then obviously you've got a few other things that you get. Obviously the packs are there. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is it 11 this time? Is that normal? I mean, it could be the wrong graphic, but that's definitely 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay, that. Oh, is that the Pokemon Center one? I was going to say. I was thinking, you don't normally get 11, but it could be the Pokemon Center ETB. I haven't actually had that one. Obviously, the Center ETB will come with a normal, and then also the Center ETB as well for the promo. We'll also get some new tins, which are going to be interesting, and we have been already announced to get the premium poster collection for the Mega Lucario and also the Mega Gardevoir. They are both going to be promo cards, so stay tuned for all of that. Now, the big thing is we are going to get these out in a burst. So as it will suggest, we will get, where's the first one? So January 30th, we are going to get the tech stickers. And whether we get the actual ETBs on this one, because the normal ETB is out February 20th. I don't know if the premium, it does. Okay, yeah. So the premium as well. So we're going to get tech stickers on January. Well, then on the 20th of February, we'll get the ETBs, the normal ones, and also the Pokemon Center. On then at the same time, we'll get some mini tins. We also then go to March 20th, which is going to be the premium poster collection. And then April 24th, we are going to get the booster bundles. I just like this is crazy. There's obviously going to be more products as well. So it's going to be a very staggered release, which is going to be either detrimental to the set because there's going to be people just ready each month to get each of the products because they'll almost have like a recharge value. So it's like they'll buy the first set, they'll sell all that off before the next one comes out, and then they'll just keep doing the same. Unless they print to the moon, which I'm kind of hoping. Now, this is what they're basically coming in at from. We've got the Mega Dream EX that we'll have a look today. And then we do have the 100 Starter Battle Collection, which is going to feature some cards that do make up this beautiful set. Now, in terms of the Mega Dream then, this is kind of been out now. We've got it from the 28th of November. That is always the kind of the interesting point with this. So obviously we've got the Ascended Heroes. I don't know if this is actually going to have, as I say, if any, it probably won't have anything on here yet. They normally wait for that, but we do have what it's called a high class pack set. This is obviously the Japanese side of it, and to be honest, it's kept a very nice value at the moment. We're seeing $126. We're seeing the box at about 90 or so pounds at the moment. It is 10 packs each one, a guaranteed EX in each pack. I don't think English have got that in them. I just don't think that that's going to be what English do. Whether they could change that or not, we will find out. But in terms of the cards itself, this is what we're going to be seeing in a lot of the Ascended Heroes. So the N Zekrom is going to be within the set. That isn't going to be a promo card in Japanese. And there might be some cards that are either missing or are in the set. So you will see a few that do kind of have that weight. Now, we do have the Gold Dragonite, in fact. I don't know where that is. We got Best Match. We got the Gold Dragonite anyway. It might not even be on here at the moment, but that is going to be one of them that we will have a look at. But predominantly the main thing that people are looking at is going to be these SARs. Some of them are just absolutely exquisite. The one thing I did want to kind of mention as well, we did get the second Mega Lucario Z Mega Evolution that is coming on Mega Dimensions DLC. It says 10th of December, but I swear it's the 14th. But regardless, that looks incredible. I did like the normal Mega Lucario, so imagine that to be in a set very soon. We did get all of these screenshots that are going to be leaked and going to be in the game as we go. So you can obviously see we have two different Megas. Whether they change Mega Lucario to be like Mega Lucario X or anything like that, but we have got the Z in there for this one, so that is how we know it. At the moment, it's got all the moves, and we did have the new Mewtwo added into the game as well, so go check that out for Legends ZA, but that's going to obviously be cards that we will see in the future. So in terms of the set, I wonder if we've actually even got the secret rares. So this is the secret rares. What I wanted to show you, if this is not on here, is we do have the Gold Dragonite. So this is going to be in the set. This is at the minute the most expensive that you'll find. I believe it was coming in about 600-700 give or take, but that is going to drop over the course. So we have got some really nice cards in here, and obviously you've got to think in English. These are going to be well up there. Like, the Gengar is absolutely incredible, as we know. I really like the Dragonite. To be honest, as much as I do like these, I think the Dragonite, which resembles the Charizard from Phantasmal Flames or Inferno X, with obviously Dratini, Dragonite, Dragonair in there, I really like this Mewtwo. And to be honest, I saw a lot of people just thinking it was very bog standard. I think this is an absolutely incredible Mewtwo. It definitely comes in very high up on my estimations in terms of one of the top cards, if not beats out a couple of these. Now, I like the Gengar, don't get me wrong, but I would like a Gengar more so than a Mega Gengar in my opinion. But then even if you throw there, we've got Zoroark, we've obviously got Iono's Bellibolt, we've got Grimmsnarl, we have Mega Frostlass, we obviously have the Irish Fighting Spirit, then throwing in a bit down, Mega Diancie, we have my beautiful boy in Steven's Metagross, then we do have a few of the obvious ones, and to be honest, one that it's shocked that is dropped so much is the Mega Hawlucha. I think this card looks absolutely stunning. Like, it is a beautiful artwork. In picture, it looks fantastic, and yet it fell off a cliff. Like, it's just gone down incredibly well. Amongst that, we do have obviously a lot of the reverse hollows. Whether we're going to see any of them on here, that's the bit that makes these a little bit more. So as you'll see, we have got a few different ones. So we've got the Friend Ball, we have the Energy Pattern, Dusk Ball, we have the Team Rocket has the R on it, which I think is brilliant. Obviously more energies, we have the normal Pokeball pattern. Now, I don't know if each of them have a specific, so for instance, I don't know if Miss Magius has Dusk Ball, Pokeball, or like all of the different ones, or they are set. So for instance, if Gabite's got it, he will only have the Fighting Energy, which I suppose we can find out because we can definitely see if there is any multiple. I don't know if each one have a set, which would be really cool that each one has a different one, rather than having to collect Pokeball, Master Ball, all of that. So what I could do is if we go for, let's just type in here, I wanted to check. So if we go Roselia, is it going to show me multiples? So we do a Pokeball and we do have the energy symbol. So whether they just have one, I'm assuming that potentially could be. Again, it might be, it might not be. If we find another one, let's go with, go down here, let's go to page 5. We have got Ionos Kilowattrel. Kilowattrel. Oh no, I spelled that wrong. So we go Ionos Kilowattrel. There we go. Beautiful. So we've got the Pokeball and also then the energy symbol. So that might be the two. You might have a ball and the energy symbol. So it's kind of like the Pokeball Master Ball scenario. That's not been announced for English at all yet, but we haven't really got too much into it. But I'd imagine with products being out, they probably would have found this by now. So whether we're just getting normal reverse holos, I really like the rocket side of it, but that just, it's kind of is what it is. Obviously then we do have the kind of normal Mega Lucario. Yeah, what does that say, Lucario? I was thinking, I was like, hold on a second. That's Mega Hawlucha, so that does need to be changed a little bit. But we do have, obviously, these high-class sets that are going to have these kind of attack bonus ones. They are going to be incredible in English. I imagine this set to be very high to begin with, and then it will drop off. It just looks a good set. Like if you're looking at the prices, and we think Gengar's obviously going to be one of the better ones in this. Even he's kind of, well, I mean, he's staying, but I mean, there's not really any data sold at the moment. We're very early into it to really have too much data, so we will come back to this closer to January, because then we'll be able to see where these have dropped to. But if we do think realistically, the gold is obviously going to be the most expensive. I don't think that's really too much of a shock. We then look at, like, I would say Gengar, Dragonite, and then probably Mewtwo would be my favorite 3. Zoroark, Bellibolt, Grimmsnarl. I'd put Mega Hawlucha a little bit higher in my opinion. It may not be the number 1, but I would have had it over Mega Diancie in my opinion. I know there's not a crazy difference, but then you do have Electros. I feel like that will probably be the cheapest, other than Pheasantipity. That's another one that is an SAR. That's got to be one of the lowest as well. Not being a Mega, the card's nice. Metagross would come in a middle, I'd say. Then same with the Mega Frostlass. I can't see be too crazy. But these cards are going to be very much like Prismatic in my opinion. We are going to see them at an all-time high. There's a lot of special illustration rares. There's going to be a lot of top-end Pokemon in them. It's not only necessarily great designs. I think a lot of them have some wonderful artwork on them, but they are high class and also very popular Pokemon, if not trainers. Obviously, Iono's Bellibolt is a fantastic one. Grimmsnarl with Marnie. Then you've got Metagross with Steven. Maybe, like I say, one of the lower ones there. But when you've got Mewtwo, Dragonite being his first ever Mega, Gengar's first Mega in this. We then have Zoroark. We then have a Frostlass, which would be, because it's a Mega, it would be nice. But because it's obviously not necessarily everybody's favourite, it will be in that middle side. Diancie clearly is doing pretty well with it. And then obviously we do have the trainer cards, which in English, I could imagine will be cheaper, especially a few of them, but I must admit, I really do like this card. I think having the Druddigon, obviously Haxorus and Aggron in there, it does add to a card. I think that really is quite a nice one to see. The Psyduck's bound to be more expensive in English, because just look at it. $26, that's going to be an easy 40 on the mark straight off the bat. We saw what happened to Misty's Lapras. That's always going to be the exact same. We then have the obvious attack rares. These are going to be probably in the higher end to start with, and then will drop eventually. Because we have them in the poster collection, you can get them if you wanted to do it that way, but some of them do look really cool. I like the wording on them, and to be honest, I've always preferred the English writing to then the Japanese actually on the card. It looks better for myself, and I can imagine if you're Japanese, it's probably the other way. It adds a little bit of difference to the card for you. So that's just personally really going to be cool. You obviously have got the Diancie, God of War, every name's wrong here, Lucario and all of that jazz. But then following that, we do have some nice illustrations. I definitely think they have gone massive on the SARs in this set, but then even then, Mimikyu, a fantastic one. We then got Magcargo, I think is brilliant. You've obviously got Cynthia Spiritomb, which if the Grimmsnarl is an SAR, that could easily be considered an SAR. A few of them others, you've obviously got Trevenant's really nice. Snorunt will be a cheaper one, but is really cool. Misdreavus, lovely. Dugtrio, lovely. There's probably more better ones than there is lower. Obstagoon is an absolute criminal crime, being $4.50. But then you got like Dustox, you got Beautyfly. They're going to be your £2 or so card. Same with the Fanrotom. They're not necessarily going to be too crazy in this. I really like the Numel, so it's an interesting one to see where we can kind of go with them. Now, in terms of should you really be looking at this set, I would say if you can get anything of it, it is going to be a nice set, but it is going to be very difficult to find. It's the one thing that really puts me off with English at the moment is just being able to buy it at a certain rate. Even now we're seeing kind of your off licenses, we're seeing kind of normal kind of shops rising the price of Pokemon packs and not knowing why. Like they literally, one of the shops near me has gone to £6 for Phantasmal, and as much as in terms of the actual weight of the packs, like we got $8.30, it's not far off, but it already kills that momentum of it. And I know the whole point is to stop people buying it all and then going off and selling it. But if every shop's going to do that, it already makes it very, very difficult to try and get. And then you just kind of turn to the Japanese side of stuff. We look at kind of over here, we've obviously got the Mega Dream. These are going to be the sets that are all Japanese, but you can get them still. We can go buy a White Flare box for £63. You can go buy a Mega Dream at 105. Now, granted, you can go on eBay and stuff like that. You look at eBay already and you kind of see all of these Ascended Heroes. Like, we've got a pre-order of 156 for a Pokemon Center ETB. They bought it for 56 less than a couple of days ago. Now, I don't know if many have sold or if there is any genuine. Obviously, you got 4 booster bundles for 156. It's just crazy pricing. Like, there's just no point unless you're buying sealed, and this is where it kind of comes down to it, that if you are buying just for a sealed collection in English, I think that's probably the better way to go. I think Japanese is probably the better one to open at the moment, especially until the market does correct itself completely. We have started to see more. Is that just a normal? It is just a normal one. So there's 78 already, hoping that they're going to get it. But there's already kind of like a correction coming with certain cards, but product is still absolutely rife. Like, we can kind of see just normal ETBs, people obviously putting out a listing because they know they can get them, or they either have a bot or something. Like, just look at the pre-sales. And whether this goes through, it's easy to sell something, but whether it actually goes through or not is a completely different question. Like, if this goes 4 booster bundles for 208, it's crazy. So it is definitely where I'm personally now looking to have more of an opening in your Chinese and your Japanese, where you can get product. You look further down on this, and I think I said this in a previous one, you've got the high class set, which was the Paldean Fates from last year, £90, which is still the same as what we're getting for Mega Dream. You go even further down and we look at the V-Star Universe, it's 135, but that's Crown Zenith. You try and find any product for Crown Zenith lower than that, and that amount of packs, the guaranteed packs and all of that, that for me is a great purchase. It's one that you can open and you're not feeling absolutely fleeced. The only one really is kind of your 151. Even then, try and find a 151 ETB for less than 220, and this has obviously got X amount of packs. It's a guaranteed SAR. It's always interesting to see the difference with them. Even then, when you go further down, I know you've got obviously coming in at a bit more of a price, but these boxes were available for 2 to 3 years still. Like, you look at all of the sets that are available, from your Surgeon Sparks, your Stellar Crown at 51. You obviously then have a few more, and obviously your Wild Forces, Cyber Judge. These are products that you can go and get, and they are well worth at least opening, because you're not spending through the absolute nose. So in my personal opinion now, when I do look at the difference now between like a Japanese English at the minute is becoming more of a sealed investment or a sealed product rather than necessarily opening, because every time you open it, you tend to lose money if you are buying at market. Now, if you do get it MSRP, I think why not? At the very minimum, at least you're getting it at a comfortable price. If you're buying all of the mini tins at £15 like they should be, rather than buying the booster bundle, it's normally £25 to £30, give or take. You're not buying them at almost £45 each. There's just no way that you get your value back, and that's, as a collector, you can go buy it. You look at some of the Phantasmal stuff, and literally you look at the set at the moment, and it is still going through a downturn. Obviously, you've got 2 of the big cards coming in, but you look at a lot of the set in general, 48, 42, 36, like, these are hard ones to get. SARs, they're illustrations, they're the absolute top pulls. And if you bought one of the booster bundles for £40, the likely chance of you getting your value for the set, you might as well just go buy the singles. So I think for me, the way I would look at Ascended Heroes right now, If you can get for MSRP, you've got the choice between opening it and keeping it as your sealed collection. I don't think you've got a bad option at MSRP. Market, if you are willing to buy for your collection itself, I would most definitely be keeping it sealed. I couldn't open it for that sort of price. Then obviously, if you wanted to make a kind of trade and you go from open in English as such, if you have to buy that at market, to then open in the Japanese to get that almost thrill of collecting the sets. I interlink them now just because it's just a lot more fun to have some of the English cards that I purchase, and then the Japanese is kind of what I buy as such, because loads of places do the commons and do the rares that you can get for absolute pence. It just makes it a lot more enjoyable and not feel like you're absolutely fleeced, or the FOMO of having to buy every single product. So that is going to be Ascended Heroes. We will kind of touch on the topic as we get into January because it is brand new at the moment. Obviously, the staggered release is going to be a very interesting one. Mixed in then with that staggered release is going to be the 30-year celebration. That's probably going to cook the market more so than anything. So we will kind of get more news on that as it does come through. Let me know what you think. Have you managed to get any pre-orders at the moment? And what are you collecting at the moment? Leave it down below. Catch you all for that next one. Peace.